What's up, guys? My name is Chris. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here today. I have a really important topic for a lot of people, which is in the title of Systems I Use to Run My Seven-Figure Business for 2022. So check it out, guys. If you're struggling to bridge the gap from, say, 5 figures to 6 figures, or maybe 6 figures to 7 figures, there's a really good chance that that gap is within your systems, or in some cases, lack thereof, not having systems. And the good news is I've built multiple 7-figure businesses, meaning many businesses doing 7 figures, and even more 7-figure businesses with clients as their coach. So we've figured some things out along the way, and I am here to help you bridge the gap with a little bit of knowledge on how to build these systems for 7-figure businesses. So let's get started. All right, so Number one, okay? Number one, have all of your processes systemized, okay? Every single thing in your business that you do, that you as the owner does, maybe definitely your employees do, everything needs to be systemized, including what the owner does, okay? If you have every single process that you have systemized, the ability to not only perform well, but communicate and, most importantly, train people is so much easier because everything, every task, every process is systemized. Meaning, let's say someone new comes into your company, right? You have a new hire and they need to be trained. Well, if everything that in the company performs, everything that the company performs, everything the company does on a day-to-day basis is systemized and has a checklist of how to perform that task, that new hire isn't going to eat up the time of someone of someone managing them one-on-one, and has the ability to reference the system for the process if they need it. The number one thing keeping your business from 7 figures is having your systems laid out for everybody within the company to be able to access, use, and or train on, which we're going to talk about a little bit more later in the show. Number 2, systems step by step. Simple. Less is better. Okay, let's use an example. Recently, we've been redoing systems within Warrior Consulting. And a lot of the systems were just too long. They were 2 pages for just simple things that really only needed to be maybe 3/4 of a page or 1 page. So the point is step-by-step processes, step-by-step systems. Less information, the better. Short, concise, and direct systems. Very simple, very direct, very straightforward step-by-step processes within your system, or step-by-step systems for your processes, depending on how you look at the topic. Number 3, and is a huge game changer for everybody, including me, and this might seem pretty ridiculous, but check boxes. Check boxes within your systems. Meaning, when you have your system, when you have your process and it's step by step, you have a little checkbox next to the bullet point. And when someone's following the system, you have it to where they check the actual checkbox for each step within the system. I found this out because I was being challenged with my leadership, where I knew I can do better when it came to systems for my team. And I started banging my head off the wall. I was like, how could I make this even more simple for someone to follow if they're having problems with what I think is something simple to follow? Well, it's not me that's performing that system. So I thought, how can I make it more simple? Let's put a checkbox And the interesting part about it is now, since I've figured that out and talked to other higher level business owners, they use checkboxes too. This is a huge, simple, tiny little thing that can keep you from the $1 million mark within your business, let alone net income. So number 4, let's just quickly look at an example of a system, just in case, maybe you're missing what these systems and processes and checklists and checkboxes really are. But here's a really simple one that I talk about and write about and teach, which is, let's say you own a business or work within a business, and you have to check your emails on a daily basis. Okay, perfect. Here's a really simple example to understand what a system is. And it's really this simple. The title of the system would be check email or check Gmail. And that's the title of the system. And then the first step would be open browser. The second step would be open Gmail. The third step would be the username and password. The fourth step would be check inbox. The fifth step would be respond to each email. Pause. If there's a variety of different emails with different subjects, like customer stuff or vendor stuff or banking stuff, you have separate systems on how to perform the banking email, the customer email, the vendor email. But we're just talking about the email checklist, right? And then the next step, there's check boxes next to all these. Once inbox is clear, send each email to proper folder for organization. And then, the next step, log out of Gmail. The next step, close browser. Bang. One page, how to check emails, short, concise, simple. And it might sound elementary, it might sound ridiculous, but think about it. Let's say you bring in a new hire and the first task that they need to do is manage your email box. Okay, that's just pretty common for high performers and high earners, is to have someone who does that. Well, rather than taking the time constantly on each person that comes in, here's your system on how to do it. You could take it a step further and record that system on Loom so they can press play and listen to you speak it while you share the system live on the screen, and they have it in front of them. All right, number 5, digital versus written systems. Just to be blatantly honest, we have both. However, it depends on how your company is built. We have in-person employees and we use written systems. However, they are digital too. And people that are performing hybrid can send in their systems that are completed at the end of the day or the end of the week, depending on how you look at it, digitally as well. There's no one that's best for the other. It's all dependent on your company. However, what I would recommend, if you're primarily a hybrid company, have digital systems. If you're primarily an in-person company, have digital and written systems, and use the written systems on a daily basis for each task that's being done, and have some sort of collection point or filing system to ensure that your team is using these systems properly, and that you as the owner and or manager are checking to make sure that they are doing what they need to be doing. Here's the last one, guys, right? Here's the last tip. This is coming from the top down, right? This is thank you cards. The thank you cards, for anyone that does business with me knows that they get them, but they're handwritten. And I started doing handwritten thank you cards many, many, many years ago, handwritten birthday cards, all sorts of things. And what I did was I started writing the handwritten thank you cards as the owner many years ago, and I wrote down on a piece of paper how I did it, including the actual writing in the thank you card, like using the example, and then wrote down how I wrote the thank you cards. So what I did was I built the system as I went, and then I took that system once it was optimized and I figured all the things out that didn't need to be there and figured all the things out that needed to be there, and handed it off and delegated it to someone who was going to be in charge of said system. Thank you cards are, they seem simple, like you just write something up, but if you even have a process for that, your thank you cards are going to be awesome, guaranteed. And if you don't have thank you cards in your business and you're a small business, I highly recommend you definitely do so. So, guys, that is how you bridge the gap from 6 to 7 figures within your systems in 2022. And if you have any questions at all when it comes to this topic, I highly encourage you to book a call with me. It's on me. It costs you nothing other than your time, and you can find that link in the show notes. All right, guys, that's what I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment and let me know what you learned, I'd be grateful so I can make these shows better, knowing that you guys are learning. I'll catch you next time. Are you racially profiling me because I'm bald?
No, I'm making sure you're presented.
Presentable.
Presentable. Well presented for the show.